Rise and shine to the morning light. Sister MJ brings the truth so bright. Health and nature in every sound. Feel the rhythm, let's get unbound. From our higher we get our power. Every herb, every healing flower. Sister MJ shows the way. Naturally living every day. Naturally you, naturally free, naturally living as God meant to be. Breathe the air that's fresh and pure. Nature's bounty is the cure. Sister MJ shows what's real in every word and every meal. From the mountains to the sea, every breath is harmony. Feel the beat and feel alive. With Sister MJ we thrive. Grains and fruits in every bite. Feel the energy, feel the light. Harmony in every part. Naturally you, with all your heart.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So good to see everyone. Sister Dawn, Amya, 1247. Welcome. It's a new year. Well, the world's new year. And we have had a lot going on, right? A whole lot going on. However, we want to continue the journey that we're on because self-care is healthcare. If you go to the world, they won't tell you that, but we know, and naturally you, that self-care is healthcare. Welcome, Sister Kana. I need to call you, sis. And also, KK, how are you? Aripika? I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. Shalom and welcome. Today, we are going to continue the journey. When we began Naturally You, what did we start with? Our feet, right? We started with our feet because death, when it comes, it begins in the feet. Therefore, we started with the feet. Then what did we do? We talked about all the places. What did we do? The bend. We went from the way of the feet and we recognized all the reflexology points and how it correlates to the body. Then we went to how we bend, right? And today we're going to do the gut punch. I want you all to really pay attention to this. I mean, it's amazing. The Most High gives us what we need, and I'm praying that you all will continue with me and let's connect the dots. Are you ready? All right, everybody, I want you to put a punch out there. Come on, Sister Maria. Let's punch it out. We've got to punch it out. Our health is most important. It's our everything. I keep saying, if we don't take care of our bodies, where will we live? Where will you live if you don't take care of your body? Therefore, it's critical that we make that our main focus if we're going to survive this walk. Because everything begins with the feet. We walk. We have to walk to get anywhere, right? We bend at the knees when we pray, just for reproducing, which the Most High tells us, be fruitful and multiply, where we bend our foot, that area above the foot there, that has all the places where what we need for reproduction, male and female, right? Also, we have the knees, right? And the knees are so important because we are bending to pray. Last week I mentioned that we should try bending every night, or at least twice a day. I don't know if anyone was able to do that, but I pray that it blessed you and you found the joy of it, because it's like we in reverence to the Most High. And for me, it was really great, and I'm trying to continue to do it, because the easy way is not the way. The easy way is what the world gives us, and we've got to do something different. We have to do something different. So, welcome again, everyone. Whoever else has jumped in, let's see who else is joining us. We want to welcome you to Naturally You, where we dwell with the Most High. We follow what's in this book here, and according to what he's given us, he gave us this wonderful masterpiece that we call our body. He's told us to be fruitful and multiply. And when we align ourselves with the word of the Most High, we dwell with him. Every time we ignore God or a higher, we commit a sin and turning our back on him. So we don't really want to do that. We want to please him in every way. And he cannot bless what he's forbidden. And if he told us, be fruitful and multiply, check, we've done that, right? He told us to take care of our body. He gave us the foods, the fruits and stuff to eat from the garden. And it's time for us to take a look and say, are we doing the best that we can? I mean, are we doing our best? And what does our best look like? We talked about having a strategy, right? You need to have a self-care strategy. And you might say, well, why self-care? Well, if you don't take care of your body, who's going to do it? You trust somebody at the hospital? You trust them at the infirmary? I wouldn't, especially in this day and time. I would definitely not do that. Shalom, Sister Nina. Shalom. Okay, well, like I said, we're talking about that gut punch, and I want all of you to feel it. Feel that. If you got punched today as hard as you could, what would happen to you? If somebody punched you as hard as they could, what would happen to you? Would it knock all the wind out of you? Would you buckle over? Would you tears well up in your eyes? Would you fall to the ground? How would you handle the hardest punch that you got in your gut? Well, today I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to just conversate, chat a little bit, and show you why it's so important that we take care of this gut. Again, we came from the soles of the feet, which our feet walking, we were made to move, right? But now we up to the gut. And when we bend at the hips, right? That area, that quadrant there, from that hip bone all the way up to our ribs, is where we're going to focus tonight. All right. So let's move on. Let us move on. Okay. Log. Okay. One moment, please. Let's do a commercial. Oh, I'm back. Okay. I was going to say, let's do a commercial. All right. Well, so let's go to the first slide. We did the gut punch. You understand. If someone punched you in the gut, how would you respond? Do you have a metal there that you can say, oh, I didn't feel that? Would you say, oh man, oh, that hurts? How would you respond? Let's look at that. Okay. So if you look in this picture that you see in front of you, right, you will see, you will see that quadrant I'm talking about. There's four parts, right? We have the liver on one side, the gallbladder, the duodenum, and the bile duct. All right. On the other side, we have the pancreas, the stomach, and the pancreatic duct. So that's the left side. The left side. Then on the lower quadrant, we have the ascending colon, descending colon on the cecum, and the appendix. Look at the appendix. Most people get the appendix taken out and they feel that it's of no value. The world tells us that this is of no value, but I believe the Most High put everything in us for a purpose. And these white coats, I want to be politically correct, these white coats have taken it to a different level because they have found that in this capitalistic society, the more that you take out, the more money you put in your pocket. And they have this thing called insurance that they use. And it's not really insurance, it is their way of getting paid. And they have this thing called coding that they do, and they get paid, and they really have lost the bedside manner we used to have when the doctors came to the home and you knew your doctor, your mom had that doctor, your grandmother, and it was generations, right? All of that is gone. Today we have a very, what I would call a sick care system that it's forced on us because we are taught that we don't understand our body. We are not supposed to know anything about our body other than if there's a pain, if there's something hurting in it, run to the doctor, pay the copay, take their diagnosis, and you typically leave with a prescription. Whether it's good for you or not, you leave with it. And typically, with the prescriptions, there's two major parts of your body that are affected. It's either the kidney or the liver. Therefore, we want to do what nature gives us because nature was here first, right? Nature was here first. And we are going to take a look at what nature has given us. Now, we have behaviors. We have behaviors that we have, and you all know this. I mean, I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face, literally. And what will it take to impact you so you make a change? What will it take? Will it take me telling you that we have these health related behaviors, which include our diet, our exercising, the physical activity, or the sedentary where we just sit a lot? Because that's what the world gives us, right? Would I smoking and the drugs, the sex related behaviors like unprotected sex, all these things are behaviors that people choose, whether it's the drugs, the smoking, the mental health issues. Well, today we're going to talk about how that gut impacts all of that. And when we take a look at your gut, we want to make sure we understand fully with all those organs in your quadrant, all those organs in your quadrant, how that gut health is impacted. Because if we are not taking care of that gut, we are not taking care of our brain. We have anxiety. We have a plethora of health challenges and issues. So let's talk about it. Why gut health matters. Our immune system is in the gut, and it's that time of year, or if you're getting sick, it's the immune system that's affected, right? So our immunity lies in the strength of our gut. And that typically, your white blood cells are the ones that fight for us when we get sick. And if there's a fever coming in the body, they go up and on guard and they start fighting for us. And that's why we have that fever come in, because it's like, hey, there's somebody in this house and they don't belong in here. Let's kick them out. So they give us a fever. And what do we have to do? We have to sweat it out. We have to break that fever before we feel better. Then we also have sleep, which is so critical. And many of us, when it comes to sleep, we are kind of deprived. And, we say, oh man, I can still operate without a lot of sleep. And when we're younger, we do operate without a lot of sleep. And then we crash. But as we get older, we need more sleep because so many things depend on it. Our hormones, which need balancing, depend on the quality of sleep that we have, right? And the way we sleep, we're going to talk about that on another show. How do you prepare for sleep every night? How important is that sleep to you? And how well do you function? Not everybody functions without 8 hours sleep. Not everybody functions with 2 hours sleep. Everybody is different. Shalom, Sister Ebony and Beauty Beats. Shalom, Sister Daphne. Shalom, Sister Cynthia. Shalom. We are talking about that gut punch and the importance of this gut as it relates to our health, because our self care is our health care. Then we have to look at our skin, because what goes on the inside actually shows up on the outside. So if our skin has a lot of, uh, marks on it, cysts, acne, all of the issues, psoriasis, all of that, it's because our insides are saying something's not right. We need to fix it. But we can't really blame ourselves too much, because society has shown us that we need to eat everything they put in the store. They made the grocery store, and in the grocery store, once you come in, all around the outside of this grocery store, you have your fruits and your vegetables, the good stuff. And in the middle is all the processed, ultra processed, most of it, items that we eat, we fluctuate to because it's quick, fast, and hurry. And that's what we've been taught, right? That quick, fast, and hurry is the American way. It's the way of the world. Because why would you want to cook at home when you can go out and eat? Isn't that what they show us? It's funny, but it's not. How many times do we fall for that? We say, "Oh, kids, let's go," or we order in now. Since 2020, we have all these services that they deliver to our door. But all of these things, whether it's the immune system breaking down, lack of sunlight. We're not getting enough sunlight because we're sitting inside with all of our artificial lighting and everything. It's all impacting our gut. We have mental health issues attacking us rapidly. every day at work or at least once a week, there's an email talking about your mental health. When you go to the doctor, they ask you, well, how is your mental health? And many people say, oh, I have anxiety or I have this going on. And what do? They write a prescription and give it to you. It's important we address these things, not later, we address it now. And then we have our digestion, which is so, so, so important. We are what we eat, but more importantly, we are what we absorb. And if we are not absorbing all of the organic food, or maybe not the organic food, or maybe the food from the garden, if we cannot get that gut health right, guess what? You're not absorbing it. You are not absorbing what you need. You putting the nutrients in, but nothing is coming out. You're not seeing the benefit of it. And I want you to think about this gut health and think about look inwardly at yourself. I mean, you could take a picture or you can take the mirror and say, what does my gut health look like? And I'll tell you my story. Deplorable. I had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And what that is, there were holes in my stomach lining because I was eating everything, what was out there. I went to the store and I was going to the outside aisles, but I was going to a lot of the inside aisles. I was eating all the condiments that make things taste good, but then I realized over time what tastes good is when I eat and I could literally taste what I put in that pot. And that is real flavor. That's when I know I'm eating good. Now, if you look at your stomach, and I don't want you to show me, don't send me no pictures. This is personal. This is personal. Take a picture of your gut or look at your gut when you go to bed tonight and you change clothes, right? Does your gut look like this? I mean, the color may be different, but that does not look like a healthy gut. We saw that gut punch. You saw all the muscle and all that, right? It was toned, it was healthy, it was strong. Does your gut look like this? I know my sister always says, she goes, I have crying knees. She says she has crying knees. Well, is our stomachs crying? Mine kind of looks like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to do something different. And I need to. We all need to. We all need to. We all need to. And if you take a look at this gut and understand what the connection is, and we might have to do this like a two-part because there's so much in this area, because we are looking at several organs that affect this quadrant where this gut is. We are looking at all these diseases, and there are a plethora of diseases, but I want to go over the ones that I want to talk about the ones that are affecting us. And you may know somebody who has these issues. Okay, you may know somebody who has them. And if so, let's understand what's going on and where it's affecting them, because remember, all of these that I'm mentioning, although it's this quadrant, you can go to your feet and address every one of them. You can go to your face and address every one of them. And we have the sensory glands in our hands and the sensory glands in our feet that correspond to our body. Every tooth in your mouth corresponds to one of your organs. So when you extract, know where the additional deficiencies are going to go in your body. Every one of them, we are wonderfully made. But we have to understand how one thing impacts the other. I don't know if you remember years ago, there was a commercial. It was, and so on and so on and so on. It was some hair shampoo. I forget the name of it. But it's like the domino effect. If you hit one, then the next one, the next one, the next one. And so it is with our gut. Because whether it's the liver, whether it's the gallbladder, whether it's the pancreas, all of it's impacted, whether it's the stomach, the spleen, all of it, the large intestine, the small intestine, it's all impacted by our gut. Okay, now we have 13 common diseases of the digestive system. And remember, I talked to you all about HICOC, HICOC. And those were that's the acronym for what I felt the 5 things were that matter the most for us to get ourselves in some kind of order, health wise. And it was hydration, inflammation, circulation, oxygenation, and constipation, right? All 5 of those. We have to get those under control. Otherwise, we are looking at some kind of dis-ease forming in our body. The first one is constipation. Now, in the US, and for those of you who are not in the US, I'm sure you can look up and find the data for your area. It's approximately 63 million people have chronic constipation. Chronic constipation. And at one point, I was one of those. But there are 3 common symptoms. There's excessive straining during bowel movements, and then the passage of hard stools when it's not soft, and when it's like it floats, or you have diarrhea where it's just liquid. And then sometimes you just don't have bowel movements. I remember years ago, my neighbor, her daughter, she hadn't gone for so long. It was so compacted. The stools were so impacted in her body. She had to go to the hospital and have surgery to remove it because she had gone so long without bowel movements. I have to tell you, after that day, I asked my children on a regular, did you go to the number 2 today? Have your bowels moved? Because we have to be in tune. They don't know. And unless we teach them, we need to know and we need to be aware of that. But constipation is most commonly caused by waste. That is stools from the food that we eat, however that breaks down, the digestion of it, it's slow, and therefore we get dehydrated. And if you have changes in your diet, maybe you ate a bunch of cheese, maybe you ate a lot of pizza, and pizza has cheese on it, but most of that cheese is wood pulp. It comes from wood pulp, yes, wood pulp, and it's harming your body, it's not helping you. And then think about how much water you drink. Is every organ in your body hydrated? If you're inflamed, every organ is inflamed in your body. What is that doing? It's causing that constipation because if it's inflamed, it's not hydrated. Therefore, constipation can set in. Now, there is 4 treatments for it. You can increase your fluid intake. They do recommend that if you take your weight divided by 2, that's how many ounces you should drink per day. Now, there's 8 ounces in a cup. For me, it's about 12 cups I should drink a day. And I tell you, if I don't drink that amount on a daily, I feel it. My body feels sluggish. And when I drink at least 8 cups or 4 cups before 10 o'clock, it's a beautiful day. But you need to know your body, understand how it operates. And there's many people who would like to use laxative or stool softeners. You have what is that? Psyllium husk, or there's plenty preparation H. All of those things on the market that you can use at the grocery. But you would really rather use something natural. We use our castor oil. Rub this in your navel at night and on your whole belly, actually, and you will notice the belly goes down. I was speaking to a sister recently, and she said, I've been doing that, and she says, it feels like my stomach is going down. I said, yes, sis, it is. I felt the same way, and I continue to do it. Another thing, castor oil, and the hexane free, mind you, is you could actually take this internally as well to help with the bowels if you have some severe constipation. Then we can also do an enema. Now, a lot of people are like, ew, ew, an enema, nasty, gross. But back in the day, family, when you went to the hospital, the first thing they did was gave you an enema to clean you out. But we got away from that because we're in a capitalistic society. So we don't do that anymore. And one day I'm going to show you how to do an enema to get the best out of it, to help heal your body. Because a lot of us, we with the constipation, it's a process. You can't go from constipation to not being constipated overnight. It's a process, and the walls of the intestine gets impacted. You know, they said Elvis Presley died with 40 or so many pounds of impacted stools on his colon and the intestines. And that's the same thing with us. If you notice, and yes, I'm talking about poop. People are like, oh no, she's really talking about poop. Yes, I am. It's normal, it's natural. Anyway, when you poop, it should be like a rope. It should, if you had a rope here, if I had a rope and I just dropped it down, it should fall like a rope. That's how it should, that's how our poop should be. If you've got clumps and balls, that's a problem. If you have diarrhea, or if it's black, 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 that's old impacted stuff that's coming off. And we are going to talk about what we can do to help pull those layers off too. There's a wonderful herb called golden seal, and it helps take with that mucoid plaque off of the intestines. So that's something you can also look at for that to help, because that constipation it's called constipation, but there's a lot of impaction going on in there as well. Then we have the gastroenteritis or stomach flu, and that could be caused by vomiting, nausea. You've got diarrhea, which could last up to 1 to 3 days. You can also have cramps and pain in the stomach, and with it could come a fever. Remember that fever is your body's response to fight it off. It's something foreign is in there and they wants to get rid of it. And anytime you have a flu of any kind, you know dehydration is coming with it, which is a loss of water. And it can result in a loss of the sugar and the salt that the body requires to function normally. So it's very important, which when we have a flu, remember that's probably a virus. And remember, we talked about the pathogens that the three-letter organizations have created for us, whether it is a parasite, whether it is a bacteria, whether it is a virus or a fungus. Those are the four. You can look those up and count on them at any time. Anytime you can count on what it's going to be, one of those four. That's all they know. There's nothing new under the sun. All right. But the most common cause of that stomach flu is a virus. Then we have acid reflux. And you know, acid reflux, oh boy, that's a big subject. And it's really easy to fix. We need to watch how much we chew our food. It takes 20 minutes for the brain to tell the stomach it's full. If you're eating in under 20 minutes, I don't want to say it's gluttony, but it kind of is. Okay? But we need to chew our food. As they say that if you chew it at least 30 times, where it becomes liquid in your mouth, that not only helps your digestive system break it down and helps it not to work as hard, but it will help you as well because you won't have that gas, that bloating, and that heartburn, the trouble breathing, all of that that comes with it. And sometimes people have coughs that go with it and then nausea because you feel like, oh, I ate that food so fast and your stomach is just going through. And typically, if you wait 20 minutes, you will, after you eat, right? If you wait 20 minutes, you'll start feeling your body breaking it down because you might have a belch come out. You might hear a going on in your belly. It all comes from that. All right. But acid reflux is if when it's real bad, it's called GERD. And that's a gastroesophageal reflux disease. A lot of times we use mouthwashes and stuff, and that causes rawness and issues here. That helps and attributes to that GERD as well. Then we have, let's see, we have gallstones. Oh my, no good. Gallstones are not good for us. And they form when the cholesterol deposits are too high in our body, in our gallbladder. And of course, there's abdominal pain that comes with that. There's nausea, vomiting, bloating. How many of you have experienced any of these so far that I've mentioned? Have you heard of celiac diseases? That is, and you know, celiac disease is classified as an autoimmune disease. And I want you to stop a minute. I know I'm going off kilter, but I was thinking the other day. You know, we have AI, artificial intelligence, right? Or artificial interference, right? And I thought about it. I said, you know what, Ahaya, or I was talking to the Most High, and I said, autoimmune, AI, disease, that's aid, and then the S, AIDS. Could it be they're giving us all of these diseases? I mean, artificial intelligence, which causes inflammation, right? And it's something that takes, we need to consider. Now, sis, you mentioned you have you're waiting on gallstones. You've got to get ahead of that, and you can look up and see about natural remedies for those gallstones. Passing them are no fun. I've heard people go through some horrible stories with that. And then another chronic disease or autoimmune disease is Crohn's disease, right? Crohn's disease, I'm sure you've heard of that. I know my sister had a patient that had that, and it was not, I mean, she had a restricted diet because of it. And, you know, there's a lot of times you hear many people say, oh, it's hereditary. I used to think that, then I got to realize that, you know, everything that we put in our mouth impacts our body. So the real hereditary is that nobody's breaking the cycle. We're doing what we've been taught. We eating like, oh, grandma made this and she did was fine, so I'm going to eat the same way. We don't want to make a change. And if we don't make a change, we will have that issue. Another thing is also ulcer active, what's it called? Ulcerative colitis. I'm saying that wrong, but you know what I mean, right? That is another one that is causing a lot of issues: weight loss, urgent need to have a bowel movement. A lot of it could be blood in the stools, loss of appetite. It is an issue that we have that we need to take care of. Now, I've got to move along because I'm running out of time. There's also irritable bowel syndrome, I mentioned that I had, which is IBS, the holes, abdominal pain, constipation, bloating, blood in the stools, intolerance to certain foods. And all of these things are, if we make a lifestyle change, it will go away. There's also diverticulitis, which is small pouches that protrude from the weak spots in the large intestines or colon. Abdominal pain, again, bleeding. But you see what I'm saying? Why I say gut punch? Because the enemy is punching us right there in the gut, and all these things come because of it. And it all has to do with what we put in our body. We have peptic ulcers as well. We have hemorrhoids as well. We also have, let's see, what else? Is that the last one? The peptic ulcers, we have the hemorrhoids, and gastrointestinal cancer, which is an issue as well. You know, today we have many people, since 2020, having cancer, and they classifying cancer as a parasite. But I believe it's more than that. I think that the cancer is, yes, it's a parasite, but it also comes from us not having taken care of the gut, the brain and the gut connection. If you look at our gut, our brain, you know, we have this. There's a picture here I want to show on the gut brain connection, because if we have a healthy gut, yes, that's it right there. If we have a healthy gut, we don't have the stress. And if we don't have that stress, the gut is healthier. Now, we talked about the microbiome in past shows, right? The gut is a second brain. We have so many issues: anxiety, stress, depression, all affected by the gut. And I even mentioned this book, Super Gut, Dr. William Davis. Excellent book, excellent book. And I have gone through, and we've made the yogurt. I have my yogurt here. This is the L-Reuteri, which is made from the BioGea probiotic. All right, the BioGea probiotic makes this yogurt, and I made this yesterday. Look at it, so pretty, and it's so creamy. You can add, you know, some people don't like the taste of yogurt. Okay, add some fruit to it, add some berries, add some honey, whatever it takes, add some to it to help you get it down. But it's very important that we take care of our gut health. Another one is this one, Biothin by Dr. Mercola. This one is great for those who uh, don't want to do the exercise but need to lose weight. This yogurt, if you make it with this probiotic, it will, without exercise, it will help you lose the weight. Now, you may say, well, why don't I just take the capsule? I don't want you to just take the capsule, because Dr. Davis has gone through in this book, and he's shown us that he has just an accident he found out, because he was the same guy who wrote Wheat Belly. And you know, a lot of our issues in the gut is because of the what they're doing at the wheat. It's GMO wheat. It's not the natural, organic, or what our ancient grains were made of. It has that bromide and all that causes a lot of the gluten intolerances that we have. All of these affect our behavior, our cognition, and our emotions. It affects us. You may not even realize how it affects you. Between that and the parasites attacking our gut, we have a lot of issues that we need to take a look at, because the psychosocial is the mental, right? That's the mental. That's where it affects us. We can't put words together. We start slurring with our words. We get depressed, or we don't get out in the sun enough, and we that sunshine the lack of sunshine is causing issues. And then there's the physiological type of stress, and that's the physical stress, right? We damage our body, and it gives us pain, whether it's hunger, it's pain, it's oxidative stress. All of these things are impacting our gut. So we want to punch that gut, get it healthy with these probiotics. We want these probiotics to get us healthy. We want to take the time and make our yogurt. We have to take the time, invest in your self care. Now, this one here is called Yakult. This is made by Dr. Shirota from Japan. It's a probiotic drink, very inexpensive. You can get this for under $4 at your groceries. You can also get it at Costco, like it's a larger quantity, but it comes with five. If you take one of these a week, five in a week, you're doing much better than nothing. But if you follow what the book says here, and you make it the way he mentions, you're going to take this along with the inulin, which is very important. We need this to make it. And you need one of these bottles, shake it up real good, mix it up, whisk it up, and then you use your half and half milk. And I would have shown you the half and half milk, but I'm out of milk. I used all of mine. And that's it. You put it in the machine at 100 degrees, or under 100, between 100 and 106. And for 36 hours, you make it. This particular one is great for people who are depressed, people who have anxiety or get scared or live in fear. This is excellent for that. And again, less than $4 for these five bottles. You shake it up, and you can drink it or take it. Take the time, make the yogurt, and invest in yourself. Also, how am I doing on time? There's just never enough time, y'all. Never enough time. All right, and then two, the stomach, we know, is where we go to digest the food. And again, everything, the most used organ we have is the liver. It gets everything it has to break down. And we have fatty liver. Many of us have fatty liver. There's cirrhosis of the liver if you drink a lot of alcohol. And our organs are inflamed. Therefore, we have that gut that we showed earlier that did not look very healthy. And those organs being inflamed like that is causing us a lot of disease and distress. There is there's a site I go to, what is it called, Queen of Thrones, and you can get one of these. This is belly for the cat. You do a castor oil pack. This is for the belly. You can do it for the liver. Put it to the side of the liver, or if you have issues in the adrenals, or uh, blood high blood pressure, which affects the top number is the adrenals, the bottom number is the kidneys. Put the castor oil on here, wrap it around you, and you see you have these strings here to tie it, and then It has a coating on here so it doesn't go through your sheets. It doesn't go through your sheets. And you can put that on every night. And that castor oil, because of the rinsolinic acid in it, it goes deep and it helps heal that. And you'll have less issues. This is one of nature's finest oils that everybody needs to have in their self-care cabinet. Recently, I mean, I'm sure many of you heard or you have somebody in your family who's had a C-section. And if you know the babies, our beautiful organic babies, they come into the world organic and then we start polluting them. It's so sad. It breaks my heart. But Dr. Davis, also in Supergut, he mentions Evivo. Let me see. Evivo, Evivo. For all the moms out there who had a C-section, if you can take these, they come in little packets like this. You can take it in your milk or whatever juice you take. You can even put it on the baby's tongue, but more importantly, you can make the yogurt. I made some today, and yesterday, 2 days ago. When you do this Evivo, this is about $99, and it comes with 28 sachets like this. It gives the babies what they're missing. And the beautiful thing about it, we were not told that when they have this, when they have the protection in the gut, when we are doing what we should and taking these yogurts and healing our gut, we are allowing ourselves and our babies to thrive. The babies shouldn't be having all the stools. They shouldn't have diarrhea. They wouldn't be wetting all the time. You know, they're making a killing off of all these diapers, the diapers. But there's no need for refrigeration on this, and this lasts for 20 months, okay? But please, you can put it on your finger, you can put it on the nipple, or even on their pacifier. It will give the babies that went through C-section, who were delivered early, it gives them a head start. And guess what, moms? It gives you peace of mind. There's nothing more stressful than knowing you have this baby that you can't figure out all of the issues yourself. So this is worth every penny to me. I think it's something that if you know somebody who has had a C-section and you want to gift them with something that's going to impact their and change their life and their child, please give them this. You don't have to give them the whole box. You can take out some, give them the recipe how to make the yogurt and do it that way. But we need to invest in each other. And this is an easy way to do it, because you will not get this information from your healthcare provider. Your pediatrician won't even mention this. You have to share this information. If your child, say your child is 2 or 3, I would still give them this, because there's probably some issues that you may be noticing or may come later on, like allergies, that this would help fix. It will help fix. And I would even give it to the children if the mom isn't breastfeeding, because a lot of this passes through the milk. If mom isn't breastfeeding, let's invest in them and give them this, because they're going to need it. And with that, let me see. I've spoken a lot. I've talked about many things to you, but I want you to understand, brothers and sisters, our brain, there's a gut-brain connection that's real. We have to get away from what the world has taught us. They told us rush, hurry, fast, work. They don't say relax. They don't say self-care. They don't say, take the time and massage your feet. They don't say, look at my face and let's see what corresponds. What can I do tonight before I go to bed that can correspond? If we can have the face mapping picture where it shows you all the organs that correspond. If you put that mask on your face, you can put an eye mask, or you can just look at the various areas of your body on your face, like under your chin here. Yes, look at that. Snap a picture of that and use it. Right here, the liver, right? The liver. Over here is the female organs, the lungs. Massage that area. Massage that area. If you take and peel your skin back right here, you have two pockets, and that's what fills up. It's all the nasal issues that we have right here. And when you start getting sick, the inflammation, the cold is here. You have to move that. You've got to move that inflammation, move it out, and it will come and then come around your ear, come down here, right here. There's one of your lymph nodes. Bring it down here, and then you go, and the junk will come up, the mucus, the inflammation will come up, and you spit it out. Again, they don't tell us that. Remember when mom and dad used to usually it was mom that gave you boiled a bowl of water and put Vicks in it, and you put a towel over your head and you had to breathe it out, and you inhale that, and your nose would run. It would just be dripping in the water, but you felt so much better. We all need Vicks Vapor Rub in our self-care cabinet. And lastly, let me say this. When I fractured my tibia, one of the nurses told me to get Vicks Vapor Rub. And I said, what? Vicks Vapor Rub? Yes, it helps with that inflammation. It's hard to find, and it's not as cheap as it used to be, but please, your self-care cabinet does need it. And anytime you feel something coming on, start to massage right here, because it starts in the ears and then it hits the back of that throat, and you'll feel it, that itchiness and whatnot. But you just keep massaging this area and you will do so much better. And whatever is attacking you, you can give it that gut punch, knock it out with your probiotics, and help yourself to feel better quicker. And with that, I'm going to wrap up, because again, our feet tells a story. We want to get to our feet. Start there, massage, then look at where we bend, massage those areas, protect these areas, protect your gut, protect your liver, detox these areas, because these areas, they want to perform for us optimally, but it's up to us to get them to that space in time and that point in time. Because we know that as we are today, we're not our healthiest self, and we need to get there. There's so many risks out there that they want to give us, but we want to remember nature was here first. And with that, naturally you, let's get back to what we know and heal our bodies from the inside out. Shalom. Have a great night, everyone. And thank you for joining us. Thank you. Shalom.
Hey, yeah.
Get some of this today.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 6.
All right.
It says, lack of knowledge make my people perish. Enough to know themselves and know them worth and know them heritage. Don't you know that you are royalty? Israelites, yeah, prince and princess. The Most High's chosen, that is exactly who you are. Chosen. people, prince and princess, the Most High's chosen, that is exactly who you are. They asked for my nationality, I told them I'm an Israelite. Yasha Allah, prince of the power, so don't take me light. I have a DNA that is linked to a lineage of kings. Abraham, Isaac and Jacob is my foreparents. I praise the Most High for knowledge of self, no longer in a crisis of identity. He uses words to enlighten me. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9, this is what it says to me. You are prince and princess, the Most High's chosen, that is exactly who you are. Israelites, yeah, prince and princess, the Most High's chosen, that is exactly who you are. Them serious no really matter about a lie them a tell. Watch the whole of them a plot to kill the children of Israel. Psalms 83 and cover them conspiracy. Nothing no change, the agenda is the same in this age. But oh my people, don't you fear, your deliverance is coming, your Shia will soon be here. Yeah, no longer will